By now you've got your machzors, you picked up your gift baskets, and maybe even thought about or set up your mikdash ma'at, your sacred space, where you'll experience Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. And now really all there is left for us to talk about are the things we have to do on our own, one of which historically takes place right here, Peace Mount Park, where we congregate every year for Tashlich. Tashlich is a ceremony that some of you are familiar with. Others of you, this will be your first time. Tashlich 101, the pamphlet, is right in that gift basket. And we usually come to a body of water like this, which we'll do on the second day of Rosh Hashanah Sunday, take pieces of bread, cast them into the lake, simulating the casting away of our sins. But Judaism, rich with symbolism, is trying to convey a much deeper and richer lesson, because bread is hard to come by. Bread is something that was valued because it wasn't as easy to acquire as going to Publix and plucking it off of a shelf. You got to plant the seed, grow the wheat, and then harvest, and then thresh, and then process it into grain, all before the baking process even begins. And it's for that reason that Jews never would throw away bread. Even if it went bad, they'd still just put it on a windowsill for birds to eat, because to throw away bread is to dismiss the complexity of the process, to take for granted how hard it was to acquire, right, this substance. And yet, on the second day of Rosh Hashanah, we'll come here and we'll just toss it into a lake. Why? Well, Jews are capable of physically simulating that which it is that we're praying for. And during Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, we try to separate ourselves from undesirable habit, behavior, trait, attribute, all of which didn't just appear overnight. We've developed these things. We've processed these things. And over time, we've habituated them. And disconnecting, separating from an undesirable trait or behavior, well, that's as hard as taking something as valuable as bread and throwing it into a lake. It's not easy. Secondly, before we eat bread, we always recite Motzi lechem mina aretz. Blessed are you, Lord our God, who takes bread from the earth. But lechem, that word for bread, lamed, chet, mem, is also the same root for words like milchama, war, lochem, fighter, because that root conveys a sense of violence, aggression, war. And so when we come here and we throw it into a lake, bread, we're also making a prayer for peace. We're throwing away all that is represented in violence and aggression and war. So on the second day of Rosh Hashanah, find yourself a body of water, take the pamphlet of Tashlich 101, and pray for the courage, patience, and persistence to separate not only from undesirable behavior, attribute, and trait, but also that a era of peace where aggression, war, and violence are no longer a part of our world will be upon us for 5781. May the new year bring blessings of renewal and good health to you all. Shana Tova.